a bunch of time. We're gonna get straight to these top 10s, right?
Let's go.
All right, so we're gonna start with small forwards. Hold on, let me make sure I get it on the screen for everybody so you know what we're talking about. All right. So we're going to small forwards first. So we're gonna do a reverse this time because number one not so obvious in this one for you, right?
No one obvious for me, but I don't think everybody agree on number one. And I think it's a travesty that people are having a debate about this. But yeah, let's get to it.
All right. Well, just like we talked before the show, I'll let everybody know what's up. Paul George was on both our list, and now he's off because we both consider him a shooting guard. So you'll hear his name later on in the show or next episode if you're watching on YouTube because we're going to chop it up. But anyway, so Paul George off the list. So I guess we moved everybody up on the list. I didn't have a number 10 technically. I mean, I didn't have a number 11 technically, but I think I found the name I could put in there. So you want to go first or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go with number 10. I got Mikal Bridges. I think he was the rightful defensive player of the year last year. He's one of the best 3-and-D players that we have in the league right now, and I think that's just a valuable position. Everybody else I have on the list probably is a little bit more valuable to their team than him. But I think top 10 as far as small forwards in the league right now, I definitely have to give it to Mikal.
Okay. I can agree with you on that actually. I like I said, by me taking Paul George off the list, I didn't have a number 11. But why not? I wrote down Rudy Gay. Feel like, he coming back for one more year. He might. Hey, you never know what he might give you, bro. He might contribute. T-Mac was on the Spurs for his final year, and they made it to the championship. Rudy Gay might, if he found the Warriors, woo, I better watch out.
Bro, get Rudy Gay the keys.
I couldn't think of. I like Mikal Bridges. I like the Mikal Bridges pick. So, all right, go ahead.
So I go with number 9. So speaking of the Warriors, I got Wiggins. Reason why I got Andrew Wiggins right above Mikal Bridges, why I would rather have Mikal Bridges on my team for his trajectory, for as what he's possibly going to become. I think Andrew Wiggins has more upside or can give you more right now as far as offense. So I think that's going to be premium for them, and he's more versatile defensively, just for the fact that he does have more muscle. Like Mikal with the slim frame, when it comes down to people that has a little bit more muscle, it makes it a little bit harder for him. Whereas Wiggins, he can handle that. So I had to put Wiggins at number 9 on my list.
All right, I got Wiggins a little higher. My number 9, I got DeMar DeRozan. The reason I got DeMar DeRozan number 9 is because I'm not even trying to be disrespectful when I say it. I just think last season was a flash in the pan. I think we about to get a mixture of that season with Spurs DeMar DeRozan. We're not about to get an almost averaging 30 DeMar DeRozan. Even then, and if you pay attention, in the beginning of the season, he was like on fire. Even in the middle of the season, he was still doing pretty good. But that end of the season, when you kind of needed him to be that guy to remain in that top 4 seed, he wasn't that guy no more. He kind of snapped back to reality. Oh, there goes tragedy. But nah, I got him at number 9. I don't think he's gonna have that season no more. And hey, he could prove me wrong. I'm always about getting proved wrong, but yeah, I got number 9 going to next season.
I feel that. I got number 8. I got Chris Middleton. I do believe if Chris Middleton was healthy, that we'll be looking at back-to-back championships for the Milwaukee Bucks, possibly. But yeah, I can't put him over anybody else because I feel like all of the other players that I have on here have proven that they can lead a team. And so Chris Middleton, I don't know if he can do that. And fortunately for him, he should not be asked to do that ever. So I'm good with that.
Oh, very true, very true. Him backing up the best player in the league fits him perfectly.
Yeah.
Hey, he got one of the easiest jobs in the world. He just come to work like, you know what? I have a bad game, you know. Well, you can't have a bad game actually, because Giannis been playing. When the last time Giannis had a bad game? Shit. Yeah.
He worked.
Huh?
I say he worked, and I like the dynamic with them when they do they pick and roll. Chris is pretty wet from the mid range, so it's like if you have somebody who can guard Chris Middleton, they probably can't guard Giannis. And if they can guard Giannis, they can't guard Chris Middleton. So I like their dynamic. So yeah, he good. He in a perfect spot right now.
Yeah, I got him at number 8 too. But speaking of mid range, I'm not sure if you're looking at your list. This is the mid range list right here. Like everybody on this list love mid range. I ain't seen your list yet, but I know for a fact that
You
the
know what? Once
remaining the remaining five or six of them love the mid range jumper.
yeah, I'm with that too. And I guess if I'm going to 7, I have DeRozan at 7, and for all the reasons that you mentioned, like DeRozan was hot as hell when it came to the beginning of the season, and he slowly tapered off. And I don't think we gonna see like the beginning of the season was more of an anomaly versus the end of the season. I think DeMar DeRozan is who he was toward the end of the season, and if he continues to show that he's that person, then I think he's probably perfect on the list right where I have him. I think at 7.
All right, so to be clear, you have DeRozan, Middleton, Wiggins, right?
Yes.
I got Wiggins, Middleton, DeRozan. So
Okay,
we
you
have
got Wiggs at 7.
yeah.
Okay.
I think people because he's in that Harrison Barnes spot, so he kind of go overlooked, and he don't have the star power Kevin Durant to see, and he don't have the skills Kevin Durant either. But I think he's way more important than a lot of people think. He possibly be the second most important Warrior. Now to say that he don't have to do much because of how the Warriors play, that's probably why he's so low. And like you said, he's not gonna lead no team nowhere, but he's arguably the best defensive player and arguably the second best scorer. Like he could be in that conversation for the second best scorer. And just by him being the best two-way player, I think that adds to his value. So, you know,
I
pulling
can see.
straws. Pulling straws. He's not like head and shoulders above Middleton or DeRozan, but I will pick him on the strength of I think his role is going to be a little bit more vital than what we think when it comes to the Warriors.
Yeah. I feel like we're on number 6, right?
Yeah, I think we about to go into the same trend, but it all depends on one player. But
We've
go ahead.
been kind of sticking to the same now. It's time for me to get a little controversial.
Yeah, I'm about to say there's a
Time for
player
me to
on
get a little
here that
controversial.
you about to. There's two players. I'm like, you about to like.
So and look, I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain my choice. So I got number 6. I got Kawhi Leonard.
Not bad, not bad, not
And the
bad.
reason why I have Kawhi Leonard at number 6 is simply because I don't think he's gonna play enough games, even if healthy. I don't think he's gonna play enough games to warrant me putting him over anybody that's above him. Like, whereas his talent, like I wasn't ranking my list based on talent. I was ranking my list based off of what I feel like they're gonna produce. And I think Kawhi Leonard is going to produce a lot of rest this season as well. So uh, yeah, I would rather rank my list based on like fully healthy, which even though I think he still can be fully healthy, I think he's still gonna take a lot of rest days. So I think a fully healthy Kawhi Leonard plays 62 games rather than 82. So
All right. That was your number 6, right?
that's number 6.
All right. So I had a player at number 6, and I actually had Kawhi at number 5. But after that fucking speech right there, you know what? Yeah, Kawhi, you go down number 6. I'm not even tripping. Like, yeah. I've been saying on the podcast, like you can show all the swole pictures you want. You can show him playing 5-on-5. You can show him doing dunking the ball, shooting, all that. One thing we know for sure, he's not playing back-to-backs. I think that's in his Clippers contract at this point. If you gotta travel too much, he ain't gonna play a couple of those games. Yeah, he probably good for 60 games. Now don't get it twisted. He's up there because of his history, but his history is also why he's down there. Like one of the best two-way players of all time. My bad. No, I take that back. He's not one of the best two-way players of all time. He's one of the best defensive players of all time. Like he got some decent offense with him. He's not one of the best two-way players. That's kind of and the fact that you have evidence that he could lead your team, but the fact that he's been injured almost every year with the Clippers. I think every year he got hurt at some type of capacity.
Yeah, it's been. Yeah, he got hurt at the end of the first season. They've been there 3 years. He got hurt at the end of the first season, and he's pretty much taken 2 years off.
Yeah. So. Yeah. My number 6 could definitely move up for that for Kawhi. Yeah, Kawhi could stay down at number 6. I got number faith in him. He has potential to be the best small forward in the league, but I'm doing he say she say. They don't work in these streets. They don't work in these streets.
Taking an over under on the games Kawhi played. So number 5, I think that man had his coming out party against the Suns. I think BI deserved to be in his top 5. Like I think he showed that at times, maybe for the series, and you may agree or disagree on this. Maybe for the series, he might have showed that he was the best player in the series. But at times, he showed that he was like he's really, really hard to stop. And if we wind up getting, if the Pels wind up getting Zion back on the floor full time, then what we looking at for BI, the way that I think that the Pels should run it is I think we should heavily involve BI as far as ISO and thing like that. Like feature him as far as the offense and let CJ and Zion do their pick and roll and everything like that. But when it comes down to ISO ball, let BI do his thing. So I think BI is at number 5 on my list.
All right. That's why I moved up to my number 5. I'm starting to look at my number 4, but my number 4 got a little bit something, a little more that I can't give it to BI for. But you already know about how I feel about BI. My 3rd favorite player in the league. Play for my favorite team, my hometown team. What I say last year was his coming out party. It's hard to say because I felt like he been had a coming out party of like, okay, we know what type of guy he is. It's just he disappears sometimes and then shows back up. I want to make this clear, and just so I come across serious sometimes. I don't want to invest too much into the playoff series because Devin Booker was hurt. That's a big factor for Phoenix. Chris Paul, the way he stepped up, I will probably edge him as the best player in that series. Brandon Ingram would definitely be my second in that series. But as far as what to expect from him, the reason it's hard to put him even higher, say I got so much potential for him, is because he about to have another superstar that's standing right next to him. And it's hard to kind of have that, especially without somebody who's willing to facilitate it all. Like, well, LeBron was facilitating the big 3. Magic was facilitating his big 3. Like, who gonna facilitate You know, if CJ gonna turn into a facility, that makes a difference. But yeah, Brandon Ingram, me he should try to shoot for like a 30-point season, but that's hard with Zion next to him. But I agree,
Yeah.
top five going into next season though.
All right, so I guess this the other controversial pick that I got. Oh, this one of the other controversial picks that I have. So I got number 4. I got LeBron James. And the reason why I have LeBron James here.
Man.
No, I'm be serious. The reason why I got LeBron James here is because I don't think LeBron James can do what LeBron James has done for so many years and be able to carry a team, like put a team on his back and bring them to the playoffs. And I think the 3 people that I have above him, they can do that. They have shown that they have the ability to do that. I think LeBron James has like if I compare him to a football player like Michael Vick or something, like LeBron James can always show you that LeBron James is still athletic. Like he can still show you that, and he gives you those moments to where it's like, don't get it fucked up. I'm still LeBron James, and he goes and he jumps over the goal and he dunks. But like for an 82 game season, LeBron James cannot carry the team any longer, and I think the 3 players ahead of him can actually do that. So that's the only reason why I have him at number 4. Don't get it twisted. He still is LeBron James, but it's year 20. Father Time never loses.
20 or 20? I thought it was like 20. No, it is 20. I'm thinking he like 22. I'm tripping. They've been talking about him playing with his son so fucking long.
Yeah.
Like leave his son alone. Like he's still playing, you know. But your take respectable. Your take is very respectable. I'm not mad about it. The top 4 is pretty close, but I cannot give Jimmy Butler props above LeBron yet. Jimmy Butler's my number 4. I get what you're saying, but for some reason, Jimmy Butler seems like he has a hard time taking his team to that next level. Like his team, and that's what all championship teams need. They need that superstar to ascend. Like Jimmy Butler ascended to that next level, but it was just good enough to win maybe a game or 2. I mean, if you want to say he need more people behind him, that's fine. But I think Miami is already a good team. But don't get it twisted. He's the best player on the team. There was the Eastern Conference champions. He is one of the better 2-way players in the league, especially playoff Jimmy. If that's the thing we about to do now, playoff Jimmy, because regular season he gonna give us some ordinary numbers. But we know for a fact I got Miami as a top 4, 5-ish seed. We'll get into that next episode or episode after that. But Jimmy Butler clearly gonna be the face of that squad. Also, look out for Bam coming up on him too. He might, if Bam wound up being better, Jimmy Butler seemed like he the type that'll pass the keys too fast. So, yeah.
Well, I got Jimmy Butler at my number 3, and I'll tell you why I have Jimmy Butler at number 3. Or I have tell you why I have Jimmy Butler over LeBron. So one of the things that if like Jimmy Butler played, I think the top 2 is pretty obvious, right? So Jimmy Butler played Jason Tatum to a standstill. The people on his team didn't beat the Celtics. Like if you swap Jimmy Butler and Jason Tatum numbers, like you wouldn't know which one had did which, because their numbers was pretty much identical. If we really look at Jimmy Butler versus LeBron in the bubble, I can make an argument that Jimmy Butler outplayed LeBron once we factor defense into the ranks, because they put AD on Jimmy Butler, who AD was he was second in voting for Defensive Player of the Year to Giannis that year. All right, so they put AD on Jimmy Butler. LeBron took care of offense, and he had AD to help him out, but Jimmy Butler willed that team to 2 victories. So I very easily can say that, like, had we switched um Anthony Davis with Bam Adebayo, that Miami would have won that series. And obviously that's a what if scenario. But I'm just saying, like, what Jimmy has contributed individually is greater than what LeBron is currently contributing. So another hypothetical situation, like, how would the Lakers look if they had Jimmy instead of LeBron? And I would say that the Lakers will look better on the aspect of, one, Russell Westbrook will be able to be who Russell Westbrook is, and he'll be able to handle the ball. Whereas Jimmy would try to do whatever it is that he has to do in order to make the team win. Whereas LeBron, he plays this one-way basketball where LeBron handles the ball and everybody else is around him. So Jimmy just fits a little bit better than LeBron at this stage in his career. Obviously, LeBron is a much greater player all time and everything like that. I'm just saying, I don't know what year Jimmy is in. Jimmy is probably in year 12.
Yeah,
Year
about to
12 Jimmy
13.
versus year 20 LeBron. I think Jimmy is better. Just on that spectrum.
Okay, I disagree. Your
Okay.
take your take's kind of wild on that one. Uh, I think Jimmy in a way better situation than LeBron as far as team structure and teams built around you. I think Jimmy in a way better situation. Um, so I got LeBron at number 3. Uh, just on the strength that he only played 56 games. I'm not convinced that LeBron would have got the Lakers to the playoffs if he played at least 65. You know, I know I'm talking about 9 games, but I'm just taking the fact that if he wasn't hurt and playing full potential, I thought I assume he would have been there. Um, I'm not gonna sit there and look at 30 points per game and say something wrong with it. He played up above 50, so he averaged above 30. I think 50 is a good sample size to say okay, he was one of the top scorers this year. And to use your scenario, LeBron if LeBron was in Jimmy Butler's spot, that would have been a big time championship favorite team. I'm not sure if they'd have went through Milwaukee or maybe even Boston, but that definitely would have been a team. I probably think a LeBron led Miami right now would be better than the Jimmy led Miami team. That's you know, not talking like it's gonna be a big detriment, but Jimmy on the Lakers, like you switch that up, I don't see that working because nah,
So
I see what
question.
you're saying.
My
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Russell have more opportunity because he Jimmy not ball dominant, but
Would the Lakers make the playoffs? If they'd have had Jimmy last year, would the Lakers have made the playoffs? Him and Russ.
I would say yeah, but only on the strength of availability.
Well, no, because Jimmy and LeBron played about the same amount of games.
Oh, then no, then
Yeah, they
I
played
think
about the
Lakers
they
had a
played
lot
about
of
the same.
chemistry issues going on last year. To me,
No, but I'm saying they played about the same amount of games. The thing is, what we learned about the Lakers is, and not to stay too long on this topic, but what we learned about the Lakers, or what we learned about Russ was Russ does not need to play off the ball. We need Russ on the ball. So I think with Jimmy being there instead of LeBron, Jimmy is a person who wants to figure out where does he fit in. What is wrong with this team and where do I fit in? Where can I help? Whereas LeBron is trying to figure out what's wrong with his teammates and figure out what teammate can come there to shore up that issue. So LeBron wants to play one way, and Jimmy will play a multitude of ways in order to try to figure out how this is going to work. So if you need Jimmy to play point guard, which I'm not saying that he'll be as skilled a point guard as LeBron, like, Jimmy will play point guard. If you need Jimmy to play like to rebound, Jimmy a rebound. Like Jimmy a play a big. Like if you wanted Jimmy to defend, Jimmy will defend. I'm just saying that at this stage of their careers, that Jimmy would be more valuable to a team than LeBron. Will LeBron have success in Miami? Probably. Miami has many more shooters than they had at the Lakers. But I don't think they get past. They may not. Who Jimmy and them beat for the first. Jimmy was in
in Atlanta.
probably was it Atlanta? It might have been Atlanta. But
There was number
they
one
don't.
seed.
So I'm saying that LeBron led Miami team doesn't get past Boston, and so
No,
it's
that's what I said. I don't think they get past
but that's
Boston.
but
But
that's who Jimmy and them lost to. So I'm saying like it's not the.
it's not a. As I said, it's not a big difference. I would actually think of LeBron led because what for some reason Miami need a closer, and I think LeBron can fill that spot. I mean, of course, you're talking about the defensive void is gone, but Miami is built off of defense. Look, they can
And
camouflage LeBron.
and the other thing that I wanted to say, the reason why you said if LeBron would have played 9 more games, LeBron missed 9 games for rest. So I'm just saying if he'd have played 9 more, he could have played 9 more games. He missed 9 games for rest.
He old, bro. Like, come on,
He
man.
is.
Damn, dog. Man, I can't see how you treat
So
the
look,
old
I
people.
got,
How you treat them at the cookout, G? You how you treat the old people at the cookout? They ask for a plate, you gonna say you gonna like go get it yourself?
so look,
Man, you gotta
look,
ice
I
for
ain't try
you
I ain't try to
sometimes,
hold you
dog.
too much on LeBron versus Jimmy. I
Look,
ain't trying to hold you too much. Let's
I got him at number 3. He averaged 30. This predictions going into next year. I think LeBron gonna be more productive than Jimmy going into next year. That's all. So
all right.
all right. So we had the top 2.
Top 2, I got Tatum at number 2.
Oh, so shit. We agree then. I mean, well, it's your turn.
I think Tatum pretty much proved itself. Like Tatum went toe to toe with Jimmy and KD during the off season. He even went obviously with help. He went toe to toe with Giannis. So when it comes down to what Tatum did, and he was first team NBA, I don't think as much else to say about Tatum.
Well, shit, I didn't think you was going with that route. I thought you was going to talk about why he isn't number 1.
Well, that's why I can go about just talk about Kevin Durant.
All right. Well, let me hit. I want to hit. I kind of want to hit Tatum's side of the story on this one because, he kind of did everything he could do to prove himself to be the number 1. Like what? Like if you was to say, what if Tatum was to look in the mirror or walk up to you and say, "What do I need to do to be the best small forward in the league?" He would actually have me at I don't know, like,
So
score title, MVP conversation. I mean, this year I expect him to be somewhere in the all defense conversation and in the MVP conversation. Same for our number 1, but yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I guess Tatum at number 2. I think we both agree on that. But I guess I'll give you my take on Durant after you. But why you feel like Durant number 1?
So I really was just gonna be like, because he's Kevin Durant. Like it's Kevin
Y'all know
Durant.
who he is.
Y'all know who he is, Kevin Durant. But I like
that's an excuse we gotta sit on sometimes too. That's the sad part.
yeah, like that's how I
You're
was
right.
gonna say.
Hey,
Like
nah, we can go on court play him.
yeah, I think Durant for most of the time Durant causes one of the biggest problems in the NBA. Like obviously we have Giannis who's number 1 player in the league who causes a problem. But when you have a 7-foot guard, like he causes one of the biggest problems in the NBA. And when it comes down to who's the biggest problem in the NBA Kevin Durant is on that short list. Like he's on that short list. So I think Kevin Durant is more of a problem than Tatum. Even though I would give Tatum the edge on their play this past playoffs. Like Tatum outplayed Durant, plain and simple. Um and he went toe to toe with everybody else who he saw. So it's not much more that he could have done to prove himself to be the man other than win a championship. Because if you lead your team to the championship, then you have to get the crown at that point. But that's the only other thing that I think that Tatum could have done this offseason to say, like, for me to put him in that number one spot over Durant. Because I think Tatum would have done something that Durant has yet to do, basically take a team that he led, because Kevin Durant was the best player on the team of the championship team, but he wasn't the leader of the championship team. I think if Jason Tatum led his team to a championship, where he was undisputed the man and led him there, we have to put him at number one.
The NBA so dirty, dog. The only reason they showing this damn preseason game because Zion back. They trying to milk that. They trying to milk that money ASAP. We need all that. Christmas on a Sunday this year, y'all. We need all the support.
Get that Zion money.
Oh man. Oh, my dog Herb with the 3. Let's go. All right. So, KD.
Mm-hmm.
Kate, exactly what you said. KD is one of the biggest problem in the NBA. Probably the second biggest problem in the NBA as far as someone to defend, someone to plan against. Also, he's very slept on the defensive end. I think that's actually the part Tatum should probably focus on more to surpass Durant, become better of a two-way player, because you're not by the pass of him on offense. Let's be serious. It's one of the greatest offensive players we ever seen in our lives. Like, just a cheat code. He back when you used to play live 2000, you made a 7-foot 3-point shooter. He came into life and became Kevin Durant. That's what he became. So if Tatum come out more of a defensive play, he can catch it with Kevin Durant. But as of right now, he's not. Durant is actually a slept-on defensive player. And what I really want to focus on when I come to Kevin Durant is, I personally don't think Kevin Durant needs a championship to solidify himself. Championships are way beyond your best player, way beyond your production of one player. Is a lot of chemistry into it and good timing. I think Kevin Durant should go for another scoring title and a defensive player of the year nomination, or at least a first team all defense. I don't think Kevin Durant ever made an all defensive team, but if this dude in year 15, 16, what year gonna be?
Yeah, he is 15 or something.
Yeah. I think if this year he go in there and get a scoring title and he gets an all defensive nod, I think that will solidify him the respect that he needs from his peers. And when I say his peers, I'm not talking about the basketball team. I'm talking about the basketball world who try to shame on him, because not everybody winning a championship. Like, and let's be honest, he has championships. Like, we're not gonna be sitting there telling this damn story 30 years from now. But to say he get a scoring title and defensive, and not defense player, but all defense at year 15, I think that's all. It's not as respectable as a championship, but championship is harder to get. But I think that's respectable.
Yeah, I feel like it's championship for him though. That's what it is. It's championship. It's championship or bust. You love Golden State.
He
Golden
averaged
State won
32 and get first team all defense.
No, I'm saying he loved Golden, but that's the thing. Can you lead your team to a championship? Because he loved Golden State, and Golden State won a championship without him. And with Golden State winning the championship without him, it's like people have to I don't want to say solidify, but have to almost apologize for his legacy by saying that we wouldn't have won those championships without KD. And it is a legitimate question, because like the reason why he left OKC, I'm sorry, Golden State, was because he wanted to win. He wanted to win his own championship because he got championships the easy way. Now he wanted to get a legacy defining championship. It's almost like when Kobe and Shaq broke up. Like
Okay.
Kobe got the easy championships, but we really respected him as a champion once he got championships with Gasol. So once we really gave him love once he got championships with Gasol and he got back-to-back championships. Now all of the championships that you got, they count. So just like Steph magically went from having uh like one championship to having four because like he had three, but it wasn't like I don't want to say he was a sidekick to two of them, but it's like that finals MVP that he got that all of a sudden made all his championships count. So that's what KD wants. KD wants to win his own championships. So those other two championships in Golden State, so those championships count.
I guess I'm looking at it like what if you don't get it? Again,
If
we look, let's keep it a buck. Since what 2008, this trend of being the best player in the league don't even matter. Cause they're gonna have teams that's gonna willing to knock you out. That's willing to knock you out and beef up to do it. I don't know. I just look at it as if KD shows that he's hands down right there face to face with Giannis as far as a two-way player. He could get a scoring title with Giannis, maybe even another MVP. I think we should. I don't think we should like go ham on him as much. But
no, listen, I see like a lot of rankings that don't have KD like top five and stuff like that. And it's like, wait, it's Kevin Durant. Like, y'all tripping. And maybe I might be revealing my list a little bit too early, but I'm like, that's Kevin Durant. Like, y'all really sleep. You feel me? And maybe you might feel some way because he felt like he wanted to get traded this offseason. Or maybe you may feel a way because of how he performed in the playoffs. But like, remember, that's still Kevin Durant. Like, y'all,
no,
wow.
I got you.
So yeah, that's
Oh shit. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's so KD, we both agree on that. KD the best small forward going into next season, huh?
yeah.
All right.
I'm listening to you.
Now, we actually done with the small forward list, so I guess we about to move on to we're gonna wrap it up with the cut start bench. We're gonna pick 3 all-time small forwards, and I mean, come on, if you're a basketball fan, you know how that game goes. So we're gonna do a small forward edition. We're gonna do all time. We ain't gonna do current ones because we kind of gave our rankings on that already. We got Carmelo Anthony, Dominique Wilkins, and Paul Pierce. Who going first? Cut start bench.
Uh Shit, that's tough. That's a tough one. And obviously I knew the question before you gave it, but that's still a tough one.
Look, I'm gonna tell you. I'm starting Dominique. Dominique put up fights with the toughest of teams in the 80s, and his second best player is what, Doc Rivers or Spud. Then I gotta go with Melo because Paul Pierce will be a question mark in most people's eyes. One for 2008 to 2010. I know Paul Pierce. I watched him his whole career, but he ain't no Melo. Melo had a time where he had the Knicks relevant.
Yeah.
Knicks. Like Melo is part of one of the biggest what if stories. Melo still make Detroit look bad from not drafting him. So I know those petty reasons, but yeah, Melo.
And you know what?
So I
Mine's
bet
really similar to that.
my bad to be clear so I can make sure it's clear. Start Neat, bench Melo, cut Paul Pierce.
All right. And I think I'm gonna start Melo. I'm a bench Neat. I'm cutting Paul Pierce. Obviously we saw Paul Pierce's whole career without KG and Ray Allen. Yeah, he's not really in that conversation. But I have seen Neek go to wars with some of the best of them. I've seen that with Melo as well. Like I've seen Melo go to war with the big three Celtics. I've seen Melo go to war with Kobe, and Kobe's saying that Melo was out his weight class, but that was a war. Like I've seen that. Um, like I've seen Melo. Like I think both Melo and Neek has scoring titles. Um, Melo might have more All NBAs than Neek. I'm not sure, but I think they both came in a time that the position was relatively full because I think Neek came after when I know Larry Bird basically he held that position down, and I think Neek was gone by 92. So 84 you wind up having Charles Barkley. I think 86 you wind up having Karl Malone, and you had a couple people in between those some Hall of Famers that had that 3 and 4 position with McHale and a couple other people. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with start Melo, bench Neek, cut Pierce.
All right. Well, of course, we're gonna let everybody decide on that. Let them throw their picks on that one. All right.